All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig in a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Looking forward to today's preseason game number one. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig in a Pickle. Two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both locations from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. or until they run out. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket chili. Say hi to Damon, say hi to Mary. Tell them that Larry Krueger sent you, and enjoy the best barbecue in all of Northern California, Pig in a Pickle. All right, let's talk Niners-Raiders. Today at 1 o'clock, we get Niners-Raiders preseason game number one. Trey Lance is going to start. He's going to play the first half. Sam Darnold's going to come off the bench and play the second half. All right, what do we expect to see today from this game? Well, a couple things. I'm looking for Trey Lance to rebuild his trade value if they want to trade him, or rebuild his value to the 49ers in their eyes as a starting caliber quarterback with his play today. Trey Lance has played a whole lot better in this camp than he played in last year's camp. He looks like a dramatically improved player. He's got a much better ball. He's throwing a tight spiral. He seems like he knows where he's going with the ball. He knows the offense. So he's throwing a better ball. He knows the offense. He can process what he sees. And when he lets it rip, man, he's throwing some incredible, let's say 10 to 20 yard cut patterns, the ins, the outs. He throws that pass very, very well. So I want to see him go out there and do whatever he needs to do to lead the team up and down the field to points. That's what it's about. It's about points. The reason that the Niners are going with Brock Purdy and not Trey Lance in week one is that when Trey Lance has played thus far, he's had some good moments, he's had some bad moments, but it hasn't led to enough points. When Brock Purdy has led the Niners offense is the number one scoring offense in the NFL, averaging almost 33 points a game. People get tired of me bringing up this stat, but this is just the bottom line. You're an offense. It's not about stylistic points. It's about points. So you got to have points. And that's what ultimately is going to determine, if Trey's going to compete for that starting job. If he can lead the 49ers into the red zone and into the end zone and score points, he's going to put himself in a much better position all the way around. He's going to put himself much more squarely in this quarterback race for the number one job, not the number two job. And he's going to increase his trade value if the 49ers decide they want to trade him and commit to Brock Purdy. So either way, Trey Lance needs to provide points and show that he can lead the team to points. That is the bottom line. As far as Sam Darnold, he's got to prove that he cannot turn it over. Sam Darnold has a ton of turnovers in a very short amount of time. Way too many. And, he gets a little frazzled when the rush is on him. He can go through his progressions and look really good in drills, but when you put some rush on him and he feels the pressure, he's broken down in the past. He's got to show that he can handle the pressure that comes in the pocket and still play efficient, smart football and be a good decision maker. When you're a turnover machine, like Darnold's been a turnover machine, what it really comes down to is you're probably not a great decision maker. And he needs to show that he is a great decision maker, and that was the Jets, that was Carolina, that was the past. This is the present. If he can show good decisions, I think that's ultimately going to be a good thing for him. Now, as far as what else are we looking to see today? Well, there's plenty, right? There's plenty. We've been talking about it all summer. The guys that I'm really excited to see are J.P. Mason and Ty Davis-Price. Both those guys have looked phenomenal in camp. They're both about 230 pounds, and they're running decisively. They're catching the ball out of the backfield. They're making full-speed cuts. They're cutting in traffic. They're showing an ability to run away from the defense. Ty Davis-Price and J.P. Mason look like starting caliber NFL running backs, and good ones at that. I mean, not just like, hey, they're the starter. These guys look big time. So I'm eager to see if they can continue to look that big time. I'm also looking for the rookie tight ends today. Braden Willis, Cam Latu. Latu's had a really rough camp as far as catching the football. All will be forgotten if he catches the football cleanly in the games. People would just say, fat practice, and he wasn't concentrating, and the offense is vast, and his head's spinning, and give him a break, he's a young guy. If he continues to not catch the ball in the preseason games, Cam Latu could be a third-round pick that winds up on the waiver wire on the 29th of August. As far as Braden Willis, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He plays with great fire, great determination. If he had one or two catches where he would fight and claw for extra yards or lay out like he has a couple times, horizontal to the ground and make a diving catch, anything like that I think is going to help him. I'm really looking for the receivers. Now, not Debo and Ayuk, because we know Debo and Ayuk are special. Tay Martin, Ronnie Bell, Willie Snead, Chris Conley. Those are the receivers I'm looking at in this game, especially Tay Martin and Ronnie Bell. Tay Martin has looked absolutely awesome in this camp. Big receiver, huge catch radius, great hands. Doesn't have huge separation speed, but man, he's got great ball skills. And you can say the exact same things about Ronnie Bell. Not the biggest guy, not great separation, not great vertical time, but man, that guy can catch the ball. I got to see it in the games. These guys are competing for maybe one spot. Now that Ray McLeod has gone down, Ronnie Bell maybe has the edge because he can return kicks. But both these guys are excellent receivers who can catch the ball and in the crowd and take a hit. I mean, these guys are really good receivers. So I'm looking to see those two receivers compete against each other, especially Ronnie Bell and Tay Martin. As far as the offensive line, I'd like to see how Jalen Moore plays, how Matt Pryor plays. If Leroy Watson gets in there, how does he play? The Raiders have Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. And I would love to see Crosby and Jones get some reps against the Niners' backup tackles just to see, or even Colton McKivitz for that matter, just to see how they'll stand up and which of these guys can kind of separate themselves. I think that third tackle job is wide freaking open. Let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. Really eager to see the Niners' backup defensive linemen. And some of them, they're starters. Cleveland Farrell, Austin Bryant, Robert Beal Jr. There's no question that I want to see Taco Charlton, Spencer Wagee. I want to see these backup defensive linemen because the reality is that all your backup defensive linemen play. They play in a rotation. So these guys have got to be good. Last year you had Menahue and Ebukam and Willis, and they gave you a ton of snaps and you got a ton of production. This year those guys moved on, but the Niners are still very much going to use their backup defensive linemen in a rotation. So can those backup defensive linemen put some heat on the quarterback? Which young linebacker stands out? I'm personally thinking Marcelino McCrary Ball is going to have a huge camp. A huge preseason. He looks great in camp. He's flying all over the place. He's hitting people. He's hitting people when he doesn't want to hit people. So that tells me that he may come away with some big-time hits in this game against the Raiders. I'm really eager to see Jair Brown. Jair Brown, the first draft choice, the third-round pick out of Penn State. He's got 4.6 speed, which is just marginal. But at times, he's when you look at his collegiate production, he's done it at the college level production-wise, against the run, against the pass. What does he look like? Does he threaten Tayshaun Gibson for his starting job? And then I kind of want to see some of the young DBs as well. Deshaun Jameson, Samuel Womack, Demo Lenore, Quantrez Knight, guys that I'm really eager to see as well. I think those guys are going to be fun to watch, and I want to see which one stands out. And then last but not least, Jake Moody time, man. I would love to see Jake Moody attempt a 60-plus yard field goal in the Dome and get his confidence rolling and get the buzz about him rolling. He's done it in camp, and I'd love to see it done in the game. All right, there are some of the things I'll be looking for in this preseason game. I'm glad it's here. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Join us after the game at 4 o'clock Pacific for the Krug Show. It'll be myself, my son Kevin, Bay Area Baller. We're going to try to have the coach stop by. Should be some surprise guests. We'll break down the game. We'll take your video calls. We'll read your chats. And we definitely want to hear from you guys after the game what you thought of preseason game number 1. We'll do our instant reaction post-game show immediately at the final buzzer right here on the Krug Show. So thanks for supporting the Krug Show. Check out Pig in a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. And thanks for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.